Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good day to all my students for FSM 4502, sales and marketing for food industry. Today I will share with you guys the lecture on consumer behavior. It is actually the continuation of the four chapters that we have been through before this, which is the introduction, segmentation, marketing strategy planning, and also the marketing planning per se. So what we're gonna do today is we will concentrate on this particular uh, okay on this title, which is consumer behavior, and there are four main objective or learning outcomes that we would like to succeed towards the end of this lecture today. One is to explain the reasons why marketers require a thorough understanding of consumer behavior, its major influences. Secondly, to identify the major group factors that influence consumer behavior, analyze the major individual factors that influence consumer behavior, and last but not least, explain the general steps in consumer decision making process. Now, before we go further with all these notes, I would like to share with you guys a few terms that I would like to clarify here. First thing first is allow me to clarify the word between let me see, between consumer versus consumer versus customer. Right. Now, in general term, we usually will ask ourselves, what is these two terms different how to differentiate between these two words, consumer and customers. Now, consumers, if I may, consumers is those buyers of our product or services that buy the products, our products or services for their own usage. As for the customers, they might have, they might use, they might buy our product services, but not necessarily for their own use. So if they use it for their own consumption, then you call it as consumer, right? So that is the first term that I would like to introduce. Second terms that I would like to introduce is between internal versus external consumer. Okay, we're still talking about the consumer. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now, internal consumer. Once we identify, okay, we want to understand people who will buy our product and they will consume by themselves. The behavior of this group of people, okay, of course, is the people. Kan apa saja kan, people who will, there is a tendency for those people, a group of people, to buy and consume our product. That is consumer. And then within this consumer, there is two definition or two contexts that we have to understand. One is what you call as internal consumer, and another one is external consumer. Why we need to understand this? Because sometimes the needs or the wants, which we will understand towards the end of the lecture today, the needs and the wants of the internal consumer might be differ from the needs and wants of the external consumer. For instance, if we take our university, our UPM as our internal, or La Apprenti as our example. La Apprenti might have internal consumer, potential internal consumer, might be, what do you call that, the students, the staff, the academics, so on and so forth. The external might be those penduduk Sri Serdang ataupun examiners, potential students, and so on and so forth. And another terms that I would like to introduce you is what you call as individual versus organizational. This context, yeah. After you understand that about a consumer, that might have a consumer which is internal and external consumer. You also have to understand that there is a tendency for the consumer to be individual consumers' need and wants. That might be an organizational or group. I would rather say group also here, eh? Or a group, organizational or group consumer wants and needs, which is differ between each other. I still remember there is one theory by Rogers, 1963, the theory of diffusion of innovation, stated that the needs or the factors that affecting individual adoption of any innovation might be different by the organizational factors affecting the adoptions of any innovation. Same goes to this case of the marketing concept of consumer behavior. The behavior of individual consumers might be different from the group or organizational consumer behavior. And we have to understand the context in order for us to make a good perception, in order for us to come up with a good marketing planning and also strategies to tackle these two groups of consumers. So that is the introduction which I would like to share with you guys in terms of the 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 the, the, the terms, the basic terms and the basic concept that we have in consumer behavior. Now, before we go further, I will share with you guys this video for you guys to view. It's a short video about the importance of consumer behavior. Have a look, yeah, guys. And then after that, we will do some wrap up of this video.
To talk about consumer behavior and why it is vital for success. Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about consumer behavior and why it is vital for success in marketing. Marketing is so much more than just creating a catchy phrase, a memorable image, or a cool tune. Marketing today must be based on understanding consumer behavior, which is ultimately the Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about consumer behavior and why it is vital for success in marketing. Marketing is so much more than just creating a catchy phrase, a memorable image, or a cool tune. Marketing today must be based on understanding consumer behavior, which is ultimately the understanding of how people make decisions about what they want, need, or buy. The study of consumer behavior is critical for two reasons. The first reason is that companies want people, not robots, to buy their products or services. To make that happen, companies must understand people at their deepest level of need. The second reason may not be so obvious. Understanding the behavior of your customer can help you better show them what it is they're buying, why they're buying it, and what it will do to improve their lives. Once you discover this, you will have a much better chance at marketing your products and services to the right audience at the right time. According to iResearch Services, there are 4 key factors that can really influence consumer behavior. Number 1 is that consumer behavior is influenced by the opinion of the consumer, which can be a dominant influencing factor. Although ads affect these opinions to some extent, the personal likes and dislikes of consumers hold the greatest influence over the end purchases. The second factor is that consumer spending decisions are often influenced by economic situations. A positive economic environment can make consumers more confident and willing to indulge in purchases than in a negative one. The third factor is that advertising plays a major role in influencing the purchasing decisions of consumers. Most consumers get their information from social media. So, if you want to market in the modern age, you must develop a strong social media presence. The fourth and final factor is that the purchasing power of the consumer helps to influence the consumer's behavior. Although your product may be of high quality, if it fails to meet your target buyer's purchasing ability, the sales of that product will be affected. Consumer behavior is social, personal, and psychological. Understanding, analyzing, and keeping track of consumer behavior and subsequent consumer purchases is critical for your marketing department to gain and retain customers. It has been said that the customer is always right. In the case of their behaviors and actions, this belief has never failed to give accurate, measurable information so that you can set your marketing department up for success.
Alrighty, there you have it. The videos that talking about the importance of consumer behavior per se. Now, in other words, if you want to understand what is consumer behavior, try to recall in for instance, in if you are doing to formulate a marketing mix that best serves your potential customers, we need to know the reasons and the motivations behind the decision consumers make. Now, consumer behavior, in definition, it is the term used to describe the analysis of the behavior of individuals and households who buy goods and services for personal consumption. As mentioned earlier, it is the what, why, how, when, and where of consumers' behaviors. Now, try to recall that the marketing mix refers to all the elements of the offerings that organization makes to potential customers. An understanding of consumer behavior informs every decision made about the marketing mix, including what product attributes will appeal to consumers, how much value a product has for consumers, and hence how much they will be willing to pay for it. Uh, Thirdly, the likely response to various promotional options. Next, where the consumer is likely to want to purchase the offering. And next, how the consumer evaluates the purchase. And last but not least, what the consumer expect from dealing with the organization. Now, generally speaking, consumers purchase products to satisfy their needs and wants. That is what I mentioned earlier. The needs and wants of each group of the consumers are different. These needs and wants vary in nature, and the ways the consumers go about satisfying them varies as well. Yeah? A range of possible consumer behavior is almost limitless. However, we can identify a range of consumer decision-making behavior along a continuum from simple habitual decision-making behavior and to the end high complex extended decision-making behavior at the other end. I will show you the continuum towards the end of our lecture today. All right. So in short, what I can say in short, let me share. Okay. All right. So in short, okay. In short, if you ask me what is the definition of consumer behavior can be defined as a mental and emotional process and the physical activities that people engage in when they select, purchase, use, and dispose products. Okay. Um, or you can also define consumer behavior as a study of consumers and the process they use to choose, to use, and dispose of product. That is the in, processing, and out. Yeah, of products and services, including consumer emotional, mental, behavioral response. Okay, consumer decision process. Okay, before I show you the consumer decision process, to conclude the videos that we have that we watched just now. Okay, why is consumer behavior important? Okay, these are some of the questions that we want to answer. Okay, let's see. All right, let me share this again. Okay, so these are the questions. Yeah, um, if I may show you guys. Okay. So once again, in order for us to summarize the video that you guys have watched earlier, these are some of the questions that you could ask yourself, your group members, whatsoever, in order for you to exemplify what is or why, what is the importance of consumer behavior. First, we would like to know, do consumers go through the entire decision process of for all type of products? Until certain types, certain continuum or what? And then do consumers always think rationally when they're buying? What consumer think and how they feel about various alternative? What influences consumers to choose between various options? Consumers' behavior while reaching the shopping and how consumers' environment influences their behavior. These are some of the reason why the reasons behind the process of us to study the consumer behavior. All right, before we go for the three categories of factors, I will stop this video here, and then I will to okay. I will stop the video here for us. I tried to make the video clips for our classes not more than 30 minutes so that you guys can watch it um, um, more convenience rather than I put everything in one sum. All right. So that's all for this consumer behavior video one, which in summary, what I've explained earlier is about the definition of the term consumers, the context that we want to look consumer behavior, the reason why we want to do, we need to understand and to investigate the consumer behaviors of our current consumers and also our potential consumers. In the next consumer behavior videos, number two, what I will emphasize to you is when we start to go to objective number two um, of our lecture, which is um, to identify the major group factors that influence consumer group. So I see you guys in the next video. Thank you.